I bought the Snowrunner truck in real life. This is a 2004 International Paystar 5600 twin steer. You might know it as TS. Twin steer tri-drive. This thing has a Cummins ISM engine. It's about 350 horsepower. It has an Eaton Fuller 9LL transmission, standard transmission. Weight capacity is 40,000 pounds up front, 20,000 pounds per steer axle. And the rears are, I believe they're 18,000 pound axles. 18 times 3 should be 54,000 pounds, roughly, something like that for weight capacity. This truck has 11R 22.5 drive tires. So I guess let's talk about what makes it a Paystar and why that's unique. So typical international truck, typical any truck really, will have frame rails that are 10.5 inches tall. These are 12 inches tall. So it's a much heavier duty truck. It weighs more, but it can also haul more, and it's stronger and everything like that. So you got 12-inch tall frame rails. Another thing you have is front mount PTO capabilities. So say you want to run hydraulics on a truck like this. The thing about the Paystar, so this is the same cab as a typical international semi, like a 9100, 9200, 9400 cab. What's different is the hood. So your rad, your hood, everything sits up high so that you can have direct access out the front here to run a PTO off the crankshaft. You can see that in there. In this case, there's a massive tow hook here in the way where that PTO shaft would go, but you could remove this big bracket here and the tow hook if you really wanted, and then you can run a front mount PTO. This specific truck is also set up with a flywheel PTO. Let's see if I can show that to you. So that is basically on the back of the engine. So on the back of the engine, oh, we can't get to it because the exhaust is there. Anyway, on the back of the engine, there's a PTO gear that sticks out, that runs off the flywheel. It sits just above the transmission, which you can't see at this angle. But basically you could run a drive shaft sticking out the back from there to a remote mount pump, and that will give you hydraulic power as well. And that runs all the time that the truck's running. So you can have hydraulics anytime you're driving. Whereas a typical truck is a transmission mount PTO. Those only work when you're parked. Well, they work when you're driving, but not really. They'll blow up eventually if you do it that way. So anyway, this is basically the Snowrunner truck, right? Twin steer tri-drive, Paystar 5600 TS. So the Snowrunner truck has a fuel tank on the passenger side here, and then they have the battery box, which is this assembly, mounted over on the driver's side. This truck, they're both on the passenger side. The reason for that is it gives you that step and room to walk down there, whereas the battery box was there, it'd be harder to get up that step. So that's one difference. Another difference would be the cab color. This is white. So we've got these 425 wide base Bridgestone steer tires. They are on Unimount 22.5 inch tall rims. We have our walkway here. Door panel. Here's the dash. Passenger side, you have the glove box. And then the fuse panels behind there. has the wood grain dash. For your diff lock, you push this main diff lock button. It sends air to these 3 actuators you can hit for the diff locks for each axle. Then power divider lock here. Suspension dumper run. All your heater control switches. Fan override, right window's power on this one. Heated mirrors. Some sort of diagnostic switch there. Cruise control on and off. Spare switch. Wiper blade control. Panel lights. And then your parking and running lights. Here's your actual dash panel. Some gauges over here. Brake application, coolant temp, oil pressure, exhaust temp, engine oil temp, battery voltage. This side we have air pressure for our dual air brake systems, our fuel gauge. Up top we have some storage, little fan there. It's probably where the CB radio was, I assume. Something was there. Little dome lights. Your passenger seat is actually mounted on top of the evaporator box on this truck. So you have HVAC controls down in there. And then this truck has the Eaton Fuller 9LL transmission. So basically you have 5 gears down low. Well, you have, over and up for reverse, down for low, second, third, fourth, fifth. But in your first 2 gears, low and second, you can also split them to go super slow if you really want. And then once you get through all these 5 gears, you can throw it in high range, and then you have another, 4 more gears here. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's how you get 9LL or 9-speed out of this transmission. Tag there that shows that all to you. Some cup holders. Because this truck's a standard, you have throttle, brake, clutch. Ignition is over here. I always like to turn off blower motor before I start a truck to get more cranking amps going in the starter. Push the clutch. Set the brake. That's how that Cummins ISM sounds when it's purring away. It's not the biggest engine you can get in these trucks. So basically what you have is medium duty engines and then heavy duty engines. And then this is in the heavy duty range, but it's not the biggest engine. So this is the Cummins ISM, which is used to be called the M11. It's around 11 liters. I think it's actually like 10.8 liters, 350 to 400 horsepower range. What you could also get is the ISX, which is the full-size engine, which is typically around 500 horsepower. This doesn't have that. You could also get the CAT engines in these. So this would have had either a CAT C13, actually a C12 because of the year 2004 when we switched to a C13 generator. paint or something. I've never seen one, but I'm sure it was probably an option. I've also had these trucks with the DT engines, like the DT 530, 570, 466, which is a bit of a small engine for a truck like this, but it works. Mind you, those are in single steer tandem drive configurations, so those trucks would have been good for like, let's see, 20 front, 46 rear, so 66,000 pounds. This is 40 front, 54 rear, so this is 94,000 pounds of weight capacity, so you definitely want a bigger engine with that. But you don't need the 500 horsepower. This is plenty, especially with the way it's geared. This truck has a 4:89 gear ratio, so it's not really geared for speed, it's geared for low-end power. But it will do highway speed, like it does, 110 kilometers an hour, which is like 55 miles an hour, so down the highway. So you can definitely take them on the highway. This thing has 28 feet of frame, but depending on what kind of body you're going to put on it, you only really have 26 feet of frame. That's usually because of these fenders, they stick up a little bit. So say you wanted a jump box or something, you couldn't go between the fenders, you'd have to go like there. Your exhaust also takes up a little bit of space. So you can put like a 26-foot flat deck, or 26-foot gravel box, or say you had a potato box. Well, those are V-shaped, so they kind of like taper down at the bottom. So those you could slide right up between. So you could do a 28-foot potato box. You could do a fertilizer tender, bulk feed body. There's all sorts of different bodies you can put on a truck like this. Turn into a fuel tanker, water tanker, anything you want. So what do you think I should do with this truck? Should I paint the cab? Same as the Snowrunner trucks? Should we put some big floater tires on it? Should we do a custom exhaust? What do you think? Put a flat deck on it? I'd like you to leave a comment and tell me what you think I should do with this truck. I get enough people telling me what to do with this thing. I might put some money into this thing and make it really cool. So that's what you got to do. Like, subscribe, comment. Give me my marching orders. Tell me what I should do with this beast of a truck. Thanks for watching.